The biggest mistake in buying a house/property, one signature and a lifetime of savings gone. Imagine this. A family has been saving money for years. Small savings, careful EMI calculations, compromises in the children's education expenses, and one dream every single month. One day, we will have our own house. Finally, that day arrives. The builder's office, a glossy brochure, a beautiful sample flat, and within a few minutes, the decision is made. Let's buy this house. But the story does not end here. A few months later, a notice suddenly arrives. The property is under legal dispute. The bank stops the loan, the builder disappears, and the very house for which a lifetime savings was invested turns into a legal trap. The question is, why does this happen? And can one small mistake while buying a house really put your entire life savings at risk? In India, buying a house is not just a financial decision, it is also an emotional dream. The words own house bring with them a feeling of security, stability, and dignity. That is why millions of people invest their entire life's earnings in buying a home. But behind the glittering world of the property market, there is also a complex legal structure, and buying a house without understanding it can turn out to be very expensive. Every year, thousands of property disputes come to light in India. According to data from the National Judicial Data Grid, lakhs of cases in Indian courts are related to land and property. Many of these are cases where the buyer has already paid the full amount, but later discovers that there is some problem in the property papers. That is why real estate experts always say, more important than the location of the house are its documents. When a person goes to buy a house, they often make the decision by looking at the design of the house, the nearby facilities, the road, the school, and the market. But the real game is hidden in the documents, which many people do not even read properly. And this small carelessness often becomes the reason for years of court cases and legal trouble. The very first and most important document is the sale deed. This is the legal paper that proves that ownership of the property has been transferred from one person to another. The sale deed contains the complete details of the property, its size, location, price, and payment terms. If this document is not properly verified, the buyer may face major trouble in the future. Many times, it also happens that the person selling the property is not the real owner, or the property is already under loan or dispute. That is why it is extremely important to see the original copy of the sale deed and verify it at the sub-registrar office. Apart from the sale deed, another important document is the agreement to sell. This is the agreement made between the buyer and the seller before registration. It mentions the price of the property, the payment schedule, and the future date of the sale deed. This document guarantees that neither party will step back from the promise. If the agreement to sell is not properly prepared, the seller may back out at the last moment or try to increase the price. That is why it is always better to get this agreement checked by a legal expert. After buying a house, the most important moment is getting the keys. But along with the keys, one more document is necessary. The possession letter. This is the letter given by the builder or the previous owner to the buyer, stating that possession of the property has now been handed over to the buyer. The possession letter should clearly mention the date and the details of the property. If this document is missing, many legal problems can arise in the future. If you are buying a new flat or an under-construction property, then the allotment letter is also extremely important. This is the document issued by the builder in which the flat number, floor number, and payment details are written. It is the proof that the builder has officially allotted that property to you. But there was also a time in India's real estate sector when buyers faced a lot of trouble. Many builders delayed projects or took buyers' money and left the projects incomplete. To stop such problems, the Indian government introduced the RERA Act. The Real Estate Regulatory Authority, or RERA, has now become an important shield of protection for property buyers. If a project is RERA registered, then the builder has to follow several rules. The buyer gets information about the project timeline, layout plan, and legal approvals. Checking RERA registration is important because it gives the buyer confidence that the project is legally registered and the builder is accountable. But among property papers, the document that is most often ignored is the encumbrance certificate. This certificate tells whether there is any loan, mortgage, or legal dispute on the property. If the property already has a loan on it and the buyer does not know this, then the bank can even legally seize that property. The encumbrance certificate can be obtained from the sub-registrar office, and usually records of the last 20 to 30 years are checked in it. If the property is ready to move, then the occupancy certificate is also extremely important. This certificate is issued by the municipal corporation or local authority, and it certifies that the building has been constructed according to the approved plan and is safe to live in. In many Indian cities, thousands of people live in buildings that do not have an occupancy certificate. This can create future problems in water connections, electricity connections, or property registration. Apart from this, the completion certificate is equally important. This certificate proves that the construction of the building has been fully completed and that it has been built according to the approved design. If the builder has done unauthorized construction in the building, then the completion certificate is not issued. In some cases, such buildings can even be demolished by the municipal corporation. While buying a house, it is also important to check the approved plan. It must be seen whether the layout and building plan of the property have been approved by the concerned development authority or not. Many times builders create illegal floors, which later become a reason for demolition. Another important check while buying a property is that of tax receipts. It must be ensured that the previous owner has paid the property tax, water tax, and electricity bills. If the old bills are pending, then the new owner may have to pay them. Apart from this, in many projects it is also necessary to obtain NOC, meaning no objection certificate, from different government departments. Departments such as the fire department, pollution department, and water authority give clearance to the project. If these NOCs are missing, then the project may be considered legally incomplete. One more extremely important paper in property documents is the mother deed. This tells the complete history of the property. It shows who originally owned the land and how the ownership changed over time. Banks often check the mother deed before giving a loan so that they can ensure that the ownership history of the property is clear. One major reason behind property disputes in India is that people do not properly verify all the documents. Many times the buyer finalizes the deal simply by trusting the broker or builder. Real estate experts say that buying a house is probably the biggest financial decision of a person's life. That is why rushing into it can always be dangerous. Today, the property market in India is growing rapidly. Real estate prices are constantly rising in big cities, and people try to make quick decisions. But this very haste often becomes the reason for a wrong decision. A wise buyer is the one who carefully checks every document of the property, takes legal advice, and only then finalizes the deal. Because in the end, a house is not just a structure of bricks and stone, it is the foundation of a person's life savings, dreams, and future. And perhaps this is the biggest lesson of this story. Before buying a house, one should not look only at the walls and paint, but should also understand the papers that tell the real story of that house. Because sometimes one wrong document can put a lifetime of savings at risk.
If our video has taught you something new, do not forget to like and share this video so that this information can reach others as well. Your likes and shares are a source of inspiration for us. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments. It will be our honor to answer your questions and listen to suggestions. And yes, if you like our content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you stay connected with every new story. Thank you. GRT Business YouTube channel sources, news from various news agencies, opinion polls and other public sources. We try to ensure that every report and summary is accurate and verified, but we are not responsible for any dispute or error. Our aim is only to provide you with accurate information.